Checkered, featuring the NASCAR Winston Racing Series from Jennerstown Speedway. Chase to the Checkered is brought to you by Pizza Hut. Hit the Hut now for a free medium pepperoni pizza with the purchase of a large specialty pizza.
Hello everyone, and welcome to today's show. I'm Mike Nelson along with Steve Richard, and on this week's program, boy, do we have a treat for you viewers. It's the 6th annual Chevy Value Leaders 200 for the NASCAR Busch Grand National North Series. And Steve, when these competitors come to town, it's always an exciting event.
You know, Mike, you're right. It seems as though every year here at Jennerstown for the Busch event, we either have a turnabout at the end of the race or an incident to make for a great finish. This year, we have over 30 cars pre-registered with names like local favorite Ed Free from Saxonburg, nice to have Ed here, and Magic Shoes Mike McLaughlin, back after a 2-year absence here at Jennerstown running the Busch South Tour. And how about the name Donahue? We've got 25-year-old Dave Donahue, son of former IndyCar runner and Indianapolis 500 winner Mike Donahue with us. So it's a great field of racers and a great day for racing.
You bet, Steve. And in addition to that event, we'll also have feature race highlights for the Giant Auto Parts Pure Later late models, AC Delco Pro Stocks, Valvoline Street Stocks, and Steel Pure Stocks as we ran a complete NASCAR Winston Racing Series 4-division program in addition to this 200-lap affair on this race date. Well, that's a lot of racing to cover in the next 30 minutes, Steve. So we invite everybody to stay with us. We'll be back right after these messages.
Believe it or not, you can get a Pizza Hut pizza free. Just purchase any large Pizza Hut specialty pizza at regular price and get a medium pepperoni pizza free. It's our unbelievable pepperoni pizza deal. Buy any large specialty pizza, including our new and improved pepperoni lovers or meat lovers pizzas with 25% more meat toppings and get a medium pepperoni pizza free. Sound unbelievable? Hurry into Pizza Hut today for your free medium pepperoni pizza, because eating is believing.
There's lots of great reasons to get your auto parts at Giant Auto Parts. Huge selection, friendly, knowledgeable service,
Hi, may I help you?
and everyday low prices. But here's the best part. Giant has the best parts. Giant carries a full line of quality Pure Later oil and air filters for almost any car, foreign or domestic, at great everyday low prices. So get to the best part at Giant Auto Parts. There's a Giant Auto Parts near you.
Just because steel builds some of the most dependable chainsaws in the world, a lot of people think that's all we do. But all across the country, from the firehouse to the farmhouse, from ballparks to backyards, more and more homeowners and professionals have discovered that steel power tools stand out in any field. Visit your local steel dealer today and find out why. You may be in for a powerful surprise. If you depend on power tools, depend on steel.
Welcome back to today's show. As you see the Ziegler Chevrolet balloon up in the air in the back straight, one of our dealers of the Chevy Value Leaders 200 that we ran on this week's program. Before we get into that, we're going to take some look at quick highlights for some of our NASCAR Winston Racing Series 4-division action. Coming right up here at the start, it is our Steel Pure Stocks getting the green flag. And it's a drag race right down the front straightaway with the 23 of Courtney Block taking over the point position from Butch Durkis. But watch the black cars in the middle of the pack. There's some skirmishing, and the 28 of Sean the Bullet Beam gets sideways, and a light T-bone job by the 75 of Sheeler.
That, of course, will bring out the yellow flag and relegate Sheeler and Beam to the back of the pack, and we'll have to go to a restart, and Butch Durkis running away from Scott Mitchell on the restart. But on the same lap, Scott and Butch decide, well, let's shake hands here, and, well, they did a little more than shake hands, and guess what? That brings out yet another yellow flag.
Despite all that fender scraping, those two automobiles were able to continue as we move ahead to another restart. This time, Courtney Block has the lead, but here comes Mitchell with the 20 on the low side of the 76 of Larry Lee Heminger. And Scott Mitchell, not to be denied, dives into turns 3 and 4, looks to the low side of the Wheeling, West Virginia driver Block, and he takes over the point position.
And midway through our event, we find Scott Mitchell still in the lead, but this time feeling pressure from Larry Lee Heminger. And headed down the front straight, Scott gets stuck behind lap traffic. It's the racing nurse Linda Schwab, and that opens the door for Larry Lee Heminger to assume the lead.
Just a few laps later, though, Scott Mitchell, not to be denied, takes a daring low-side move on Heminger, and he's able to muscle around through to the point position. Then, on our closing laps, it is Scott Mitchell coming around to take the checkered flag for a career first feature win at Jennerstown in the Steel Pure Stocks. There's a look at the top 5.
Also an impressive finish for Courtney Block out of Wheeling, West Virginia, and Rick Sheeler managed the 5th.
Valvoline Street Stocks were next up with their 20-circuit event in this evening's activities, and it was Richie Layton in the 76 jumping right for the lead at the beginning of this event.
Several laps into the event as Richie Layton pulls away from the field. A good battle going on for second place between John Komarinsky, Brian Audie, and Dave Wilt, who's been running very well here at Jennerstown lately.
Those three drivers also getting pressure from Jason Mignon and Jack Satoski out of the screen. But watch the Rose Lumber 75 of Brian Audie. The Jenner's Pennsylvania drivers able to sneak by for the second place position. We move on to the midpoint in this event. This is a struggle for fourth. Jason Mignon with his familiar dirt track style right there lights up that right rear tire but continues to hold on to fourth.
But the big news here at the end of the race coming down the front straight to take the checkered, it's Richie Layton and another career first victory at the Laurel Highlands Oval tonight.
Our top 5 results, we see Brian Audie holding on to the bridesmaid spot, followed by Dave Wilt, Alan Angelico Jr., and Mike Hemminger rounding out the top 5.
Moving to our Giant Auto Parts Purolator late model 35-lap feature event. On the start, Rick Miller and Charlie Cragen on the front row. And as they head down the front, their guns are smoking, and just behind them is Glenn Galt in the Orange Blossom Special applying pressure.
The early laps of this event saw Rick Miller up to the task of holding off the pressure of Glenn Galt and Charlie Cragen. Cragen continued working this impressive outside line down the front straight, holding off the efforts of Galt as he tried to hang him out to dry.
As we move ahead to lap 8 in the event, guns still smoking. Rick Miller and Charlie Cragen continue to battle for the pole, with Glenn Galt haunting the back bumper of Miller. The determined Charger from Hopewell, Pennsylvania makes the move to the low side of Rick Miller for the lead, and that window stayed open for Hubbard, Ohio's Glenn Galt. Likewise, he was able to get under Miller's car for second. Midway through our 35-lap feature event, Steve Pellis, a man on the move in a good battle for the 5th spot with Bob Cibula from Massillon, Ohio. Steve making his comeback in 1992 after a bad accident at Motordrome Speedway in 1991, manages to make the move and take that number 5 spot.
And only a few laps later, Pellis brings that Beth Mining Coal Double Zero car to the back bumper of Rick Miller's 19th. Miller gets squarely up high, and Pellis takes over the 4th place spot.
Continuing his drive toward the front of the field, Steve Pellis finds a bit of a roadblock in Chuck Kennedy. No matter what he tries to do, he just can't make the move, even gets squirrely coming out of turn 4 and dirt tracks the automobile.
But on the last lap, all eyes were on charging Charlie Cragen as he takes the checker, his second this weekend, winning the previous night at Motordrome Speedway. There's a look at the top 5. Cragen giving his car owner, Doc Scanlon, another birthday present this weekend in the form of a checker.
We'll be back with more racing action after this.
Al Unser Jr. knows the corkscrew at Laguna Seca with his eyes closed. Fortunate, considering it's a blind turn. Mark Martin knows if he lets someone cross his wake at 200 miles per hour, his car may be doing the lambada. And Joe Amato knows that at 296 miles per hour, he must pull his chute at precisely the right moment to keep from becoming an astronaut. Apparently, it is what you know.
This Saturday, WJC-TV and Gatorade present Beat the Clock Night at Jennerstown Speedway. From 4 to 6 p.m., admission is only $6. Children 12 and under admitted absolutely free, with Speedo the Clown making a special appearance. See the Giant Auto Parts Purolator late models, AC Delco Pro stocks, Valvoline Street stocks, and Steel Pure stocks, and a complete program that includes opening day makeup features for Pro stock and Street stocks. Gates open at 4, late model time trials at 6:30, and racing at 7 p.m. as WJC-TV and Gatorade present Beat the Clock Night. From 4 to 6 p.m., admission is only $6 at Jennerstown Speedway.
Where there's smoke, there's fire. The surefire performance of AC Delco. We don't just race, we win.
Welcome back. We had a barn burner of an event, Steve, for the AC Delco Pro Stock, so we take a good look at this feature event. There's the top 3 rows.
And on the pole, the welder from Johnstown, Timothy Spisak, another welder back in the middle of the pack, Jeff Dunmeyer, and a pair of Brads, Brad Smale and Brad Cole, names to watch out for.
as the field comes out of turn 4, up to speed under starter Ron Brutz. Green flag. Watch this, 3 wide going into turns 1 and 2. Kelly Schullis down the low side. It gets intense. Let's go to the live call.
Working down the back straightaway, Spisak on the point position with the 77 of Schullis in second. We're going to get a sandwich shop. Oh, Mabel, open up the refrigerator in turn 3 and bring out the mayonnaise. I didn't think it would work. Oh, no!
Charlie Myers getting involved with Tony Hirsch and Randy Poth hitting the outside retaining wall and riding it for a while. Mike, let's take a look at the replay.
We can see a better view of this mishap from this angle, and look at that. Tony Hirsch in the middle of it with Myers riding up on top of the outside retaining wall, coming back down. Now, Steve, the whole rear end of that car was damaged. Here it is being taken back into the pits, and you can see perhaps a panhard bar, something broken on that automobile, but he was definitely out for the evening. Going back to the restart, it's still Spisak on the point, and look at this. Some fumbling and shuffling as we come up to speed, but Bradley Cole jumps to the point position.
And as Cole assumes the lead, here comes Kelly Schullis making the pass on the low side, and just behind him, Brad Smales and Jeff Dunmire. They're going to apply some pressure as they head down the back too, Mike.
Those 3 automobiles, a 77, 41, and 07, respectively, all working the low side of this racing surface. Meanwhile, Brad Cole, who we've talked about with the broken wrist out there driving on the outside of the speedway, continues to fall back through the field. Here comes Lehman, Pennsylvania's Brad Smales getting by on the low side.
And Jeff Dunmire applying pressure as well. It looks as though perhaps Cole might be washing out a bit in the turns. Here we see Dunmire taking the low line, now applying pressure to Smales.
The Somerset, Pennsylvania welder in the 07 will begin to close up on the yellow 41 of Smales as they work down the back straight. Now we're going to take this and move ahead to lap 6. Here's the battle, and it's an intense one down the back straight.
And make no mistake about it, it is a battle for the his own, but feeling intense pressure from Smales and Dunmire. 3 cars on a weekly basis who have been running very well here at Jennerstown, and they're so close you could slip a piece of paper in between fenders or bumpers there, Mike.
It's incredible that Dunmire holds the outside of this racing surface so well. And look at there, some door knocking and door closing with the 77 of Schullis. Now you can see some paint trading out there and some bending of fiberglass. Oh my goodness, these guys are really battling intense in this AC Delco Pro Stock division. Watch this when we go into turns 1 and 2. It's Brad Smales working to the low side of the Schullis screen printing 77. Kelly Schullis on board, still trying to hang on to that outside line as Dunmire decides to tuck to the low side. Now he sneaks in to make it a battle for the bridesmaid spot.
And while all of this is going on, don't look now, Mike, but the number 68 of Brad Cole just behind them.
Cole has positioned himself to join this battle, but we had a caution come out right about here in the event for a spin caused by Bill Krause's 25, and that was on lap 8. So we go back to the restart and watch this. Kelly Schullis again on the high side with Smales down to the low line, and they continue the struggle, but Bradley Cole begins to make his move. He goes to the low side of Dunmire, 07 down the back straight. What an intense battle these 4 drivers have positioned themselves in.
You know, Mike, if you or I were to do that much fender knocking or bumper banging, we would be getting a citation about right now.
You're certainly right about that, Steve Reno, but it's better than destroying your car. Watch this. The 77 into the outside retaining wall. A T-bone job on Brad Smales' automobile. Numerous cars involved with this. Some others escaping some carnage out there.
Fortunately, none of our competitors were seriously injured in the incident. However, the cars, that's a different story. Here we see Brad Smales riding the door panel of his number 41 back into the pits, and always a bad sign on the racetrack, at least for the car, is the tilt bed. Here we see Kelly Schullis' brand new Dillon chassis being hauled up on the tilt bed. That's not a good sign.
And unfortunately, they'll be burning the midnight oil to get that car back together. Now we move ahead in this event, only 5 laps remaining, and Brad Cole has surgically moved his way up through the field, is on the point position with his arch rival, but yet good friend out there, the 07 machine of Jeff Dunmire. As they exit out of turn 4, things continue to heat up and get intense. We ought to take it right now to the live call.
Into turns 1 and 2, Jeff Dunmire looking to make a strike. He's going to have to pull something out of the bag of tricks, and he does it now. He goes to the low side on Cole once again. Here comes Dunmire, race fans. Cole slams the door on him, denies him the opportunity. Here comes Ron Delano Jr. He comes alive on the outside of the racing surface. Delano says, it's my turn to put on the show. Oh, look at this, race fans. Delano hooked up and flying. Unbelievable. We're trying to make it 3 wide for the lead. Time is running out, and Delano is a man on the move. He's making a show of it on the outside of this racing surface. They're stacked up behind Cole. 2 laps remaining. Ron Delano Jr. works the outside of Dunmire. He's trying to box him in. Bradley Cole hangs on to that at point position. Down the back straightaway. Denmark denies the 62 of Delano the opportunity. This time around, race fans, the white flag, one lap remaining. Cole has it. Here comes Dunbar. They work down into turns 1 and 2. Bradley Cole hangs on to the point position. Dunbar now tries the outside. Will he dive ball blue? Down the back straightaway. It's still Cole. Here comes Dunbar. Dunbar works the low line on Cole. They dive into turn 3, and Cole slams the door. They work out of turn 4. Cole now. Dunbar tries low. Here's the drag race to the checker. It's Cole.
And as Brad Cole crosses the finish line with the hand raised, let's take a look at the top 5 finishers. Dunbar finishing second. An impressive run for Kerry Tadera out of Holsapple in 4th. Bill Kraus in 5th.
That's a good run for Bill Kraus. He made it all the way up to top 5 after spinning on lap 8. Bradley Cole in victory lane. Stay with us. There's lots of racing coming up right after this.
There's lots of great reasons to get your auto parts at Giant Auto Parts. Huge selection, friendly, knowledgeable service,
Hi, may I help you?
and everyday low prices. But here's the best part. Giant has the best parts. Giant carries a full line of quality Purolator oil and air filters for almost any car, foreign or domestic, at great everyday low prices. So get to the best part at Giant Auto Parts. There's a Giant Auto Parts near you.
This Saturday, WJC-TV and Gatorade present Beat the Clock Night at Jennerstown Speedway. From 4 to 6 p.m., admission is only $6. Children 12 and under admitted absolutely free, with Speedo the Clown making a special appearance. See the Giant Auto Parts Purolator late models, AC Delco Pro stocks, Valvoline Street stocks, and Steel Pure stocks in a complete program that includes opening day makeup features for Pro stock and Street stocks. Gates open at 4, late model time trials at 6:30, and racing at 7 p.m. as WJC-TV and Gatorade present Beat the Clock Night. From 4 to 6 p.m., admission is only $6 at Jennerstown Speedway.
Just because steel builds some of the most dependable chainsaws in the world, a lot of people think that's all we do. But all across the country, from the firehouse to the farmhouse, from ballparks to backyards, more and more homeowners and professionals have discovered that steel power tools stand out in any field. Visit your local steel dealer today and find out why. You may be in for a powerful surprise. If you depend on power tools, depend on steel.
Welcome back to the 6th annual Chevy Value Leaders 200 for the NASCAR Busch Grand National North Tour. There's a look at the top 3 rows. And before we get started with highlighting this event, we're going to take an opportunity to look at how these competitors travel to all the different speedways across this part of the country.
This race break is brought to you by AC Delco. AC Delco powers the winners.
Many of the competitors here at Jennerstown Speedway drive several hours just to get to the racetrack each week. Some of the drivers will travel as much as 300 miles one way just to get here. But for the drivers on the Busch Grand National North Series, traveling up and down the eastern seaboard of the United States is more the rule than the exception. So when these teams literally hit the road, the means by which they travel is a matter of utility and of comfort. Kelly Moore from Scarborough, Maine, has been driving the BGNN Series since 1987. This year, Kelly, who lists Jennerstown as his favorite track, brought his Jordan Lumber Makita Power Tools race car to Jennerstown in a 1992 Kenworth King of the Road. On a functional basis, it will carry the race car and any and all backup components for any major repairs, ranging from an extra motor and drivetrain to shocks and wheels. And today, here at Jennerstown, it was a prime example of how important those spare components can be, because the crew had to literally replace the entire motor in the number 47 Black Lumina after only one set of practice laps. Working in storage space is obviously at a premium, but let it not be said that comfort was sacrificed. The rig features a lounge area behind the drive cab where Kelly and the crew can find air-conditioned comfort and a place to escape when perhaps things aren't going quite as planned, such as today. All of this may seem rather extravagant, but keep one thing in mind. After Kelly leaves Jennerstown tonight, they'll set up shop at Stafford, Connecticut next weekend.
This race break has been brought to you by AC Delco. AC Delco powers the winners.
Incredible to think, with all the traveling these competitors had to get here, we had 30 cars starting this event. The field coming out of turn 4, looking for starter Ron Brutt's green flag, up to speed, and it's a beautiful start with Gaeta on the point, and Joe Bessie in the AC Delco number 9 Grand Prix bodied machine. He jumps right out to the lead at the start of this 6th annual affair.
Joe Bessie beginning to pull away from the field, and look at the field, Mike. These racers drive week in, week out. They are true professionals. Close quarter racing is nothing new to these competitors. And as we exit turn 4 and down the front straight, Joe Bessie stretches it out even a bit more.
Well, he continues doing that as we move ahead in this event. It's all Bessie in the lead, but here's the battle shaping up for third and lap 25. And it's the Irish Angel, Dick McCabe from Kennebunkport, Maine, in a Fisher Snowplow 0. He tries to move that Buick under Billy Clark as they fight. Look at this, out of turn 4. Oh, my, do they know how to put the fender to each other.
And McCabe makes the move, working the low side to take the number 3 spot. We're going to jump ahead of the event to a lap 46 restart. No positions have changed, but on the double file restart, Joe Bessie again assumes the point position. But Mike, look back in the pack. Things are really getting interesting.
It's Center Conway, New Hampshire's Dale Shaw in a powder blue and white number 60 automobile who begins to apply pressure for the battle for third, and he, along with Dick McCabe, pressure the back bumper Gaeta for the second place spot. Shaw squeaks through, though, and finds himself running in the third place position.
And now Shaw sets his sights and starts to work on Gaeta. We're going to jump ahead to lap 59, and here comes Dale Shaw making the pass on the outside. Gaeta beginning to fade just a little bit. Just behind Gaeta, here comes Dick McCabe. He's trying to make the move as well. And the battle for fifth continues to heat up with the number 71 of Bobby Dragon and number 51 of Magic Shoes Mike McLaughlin.
We're on to lap 62, and the battle is still for third as Bobby Gaeta continues holding on to it, but his automobile's almost falling apart here, Steve. Dick McCabe begins to close in on him. It's worth going to the live call.
Dick McCabe looking for racing room on Gaeta's automobile. He tries the outside again. Gaeta slams the door on him in the back straight. And look at this. McCabe still trying the outside on Gaeta. They work out a turn 4. A daring move by McCabe down the front straightaway. And Dick McCabe, the Irish Angel, trying to accomplish a best, and he accomplishes it in turns 1 and 2. Now Magic Shoes.
And Dick McCabe makes the move and retakes third position. Jumping ahead to lap 88, it's now a battle for the lead. Dale Shaw pressuring Joe Bessie coming out of turn 4 as they thread their way through traffic.
Anticipation is the name of the game for New Hampshire's Dale Shaw as he closes into the back bumper of Bessie. We go into the live call.
Dale Shaw now sees Bessie getting squirrely again. Shaw makes a move to the low side. It's a battle for the lead on lap 89. Shaw dives to the low line on Joe Bessie. And Dale Shaw, the Center Conway, New Hampshire driver, trying to take the lead down the front straightaway. Bessie comes right back on him. It's a drag race in turns 1 and 2. And Shaw breaks through for the point position. Joe Bessie comes right back on the inside, but Shaw denies him the opportunity.
And Mike, once he lost the lead, things really seemed to go sour. Here we see Joe Bessie pulling into the pits on lap 95.
After leading from the drop of the green in the Chevy Value Leaders 200 lap event, Joe Bessie was never much more of a factor. Now we move on to lap 121. Dale Shaw and a 16-0 of Dick McCabe continue their charge as they go down the back straight, but we had a major incident coming out of turn 4, and we'll swing over there, and it involved a multi-car crash with a number of automobiles, including Bobby Gaeta, who was running second for so long earlier. Ed Freen of 49 gets away, also the 68 of Martin Truex, and Babe Branscombe in the 31 involved, and the 39 of Lloyd Gilly.
Bob Brunel also caught up in that mishap. We move on to lap 127, a battle for the lead down the back straight. It's Shaw and McCabe. Let's go to the live call.
Dale Shaw not able to run away with it. Here comes McCabe. McCabe works the outside of Shaw. Into turn 4, it's a battle for the lead. Shaw and McCabe down the front straightaway. McCabe working to the outside. They dive into turns 1 and 2, and McCabe takes over the point position.
McCabe taking over the point position, and the 60 of Dale Shaw began to fade back through the field. Now we're going to move on to lap 140. Your second place running automobile is the 51 of Magic Shoes, Mike McLaughlin, a former NASCAR modified champion. And look at Kelly Moore and the 1 of Tony Hirschman. Their lapped automobiles trying to unlap themselves in this event, and things get so intense for your second place machine. And look at this, the 51 automobile of Magic Shoes, Mike McLaughlin, makes contact with the inside retaining wall. A tough break for this outstanding competitor.
Amazingly, McLaughlin able to leave the track under his own power. Let's jump ahead to late in the event. This is lap 185. Shaw still leading, and 2 cars duking it out for second place. Let's go to the live call.
Oh, running out of time in this event. Here comes Van to the outside. Can he pull it off down the back straightaway? The racing grandfather on the outside of Lonnie Rush Jr. in the battle for second. Van is a man on the move. Down the front
with the racing grandfather going into second. He gets the opportunity to close in on Dick McCabe. Here is a late race restart. 5 laps remaining, the battle for the lead. Let's take it to the call.
Look at this race, fans. Bumper to bumper for the lead on the front straightaway. In a third, 1 and 2. McCabe and Fred. Oh, they get together. Fred steals up by. Here comes McCabe down low again. Unbelievable.
McCabe holds him off, and now on the final lap down the front, it's Dick McCabe taking the checkered in the Chevy Value Leaders 200, followed by Fadden.
In the final results, we see Lonnie Rush Jr. in the Hunt Oil 90 finishing third, followed by Curtis Markham and local favorite Ed Ferree rounding out the top 5. There's Kennebunkport, Maine's favorite son, Dick McCabe in victory lane.
President Bush, eat your heart out. We'll be right back.
Where there's smoke, there's fire. The surefire performance of AC Delco. We don't just race, we win.
Al Unser Jr. knows the corkscrew at Laguna Seca with his eyes closed. Fortunate, considering it's a blind turn. Mark Martin knows if he lets someone cross his wake at 200 miles per hour, his car may be doing the lambada. And Joe Amato knows that at 296 miles per hour, he must pull his chute at precisely the right moment to keep from becoming an astronaut. Apparently, it is what you know.
Believe it or not, you can get a Pizza Hut pizza free. Just purchase any large Pizza Hut specialty pizza at regular price and get a medium pepperoni pizza free. It's our unbelievable pepperoni pizza deal. Have any large specialty pizza delivered, including our new and improved pepperoni lovers or meat lovers pizzas with 25% more meat toppings and get a medium pepperoni pizza free. Sound unbelievable? Call Pizza Hut Delivery now for your free medium pepperoni pizza, because eating is believing.
That concludes racing for this week. We now have Jennerstown Speedway reserve seat $2 discount coupons that are redeemable at all race events up to September 9th.